Hey everybody, welcome to our very last season of the show Must Go Online and our On the Real sessions with On the Marc Studios. Tonight we're going to recap the last 5 episodes of the season. This is our second season coming to a close tonight. And tonight we felt it would be fitting to bring on our crew that has been helping us to kind of have discussions around, the things that went on behind the scenes, and then also interacting with the bands and kind of give more of like an in-depth review of what we experienced this season. But before we get started, I want to make sure that I give a shout out to our sponsors who have supported us all season. Let's start with the Patreons. All the Patreon supporters who pay at minimum of $5 a month. There's some that pay $25 a month, but they have supported us from day one, back when quarantine started. Thank you so much. You could also become a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/onthemarcstudio. And then also a shout out to Coburn's Exclusive out of Nashville, Tennessee, and then Celestial Viking Entertainment here in Columbia, South Carolina. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of dive in, and I'm going to introduce everybody if you have not seen them already on the cast. But to my left is our good friend, Mr. Rodney Foster Jr.
Hello.
And then in the middle here is Mr. Morgan Johnson. He goes by Mojo, so we might call him that throughout the show. And then we got here Mr. Greg Sword, who's going to be commenting and talking to you guys online. So if you have any questions throughout the stream, make sure you send them over to Greg, and we'll try to answer to them. Anything works. If it's stupid, Greg's probably going to just filter it out. So if it's like, what's your favorite color, or I
feel like Claire's gonna call you out for it.
I know.
Now,
That's the reason.
Automatically.
That's the reason why I'm saying that. Yeah.
This is also the one person that's watching right now too. Because sorry we started late, guys. Hey, as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different space, so just trying to get everything up and running and everything like that. And I want to clarify something. It's not our last episode ever. It's our last episode for the season.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah, season 2. So just wanted to loop back on that because you said our final episode.
It's our final episode ever. I mean, this season has been fun, hasn't it, Greg?
It has been. Man, what a step up. What a step up from our first season. Not even our first season. We started with the curfew curtain call, with you bringing on some other artists and stuff like that, and that just kind of went to the left, as soon as we started back at the beginning of COVID. And then, we did the shows with just you and stuff like that, and we learned our process. We learned the cameras. We learned the streaming aspect of things. And then when we got to that point where we stepped our game up, that we started bringing people back in, which is funny because this show was actually one of the first shows that we did. The Show Must Go Online. Yeah. It was a separate show that we merged in to this so that we could kind of go back and talk about all the different artists and stuff like that, because we knew, if we're doing, let's see, we did every 5 or 6 shows, we did a Show Must Go Online for this season.
Yeah.
So, and this is episode 20. You know what I'm saying?
It also included live performances throughout it. So we had a whole concept for it that just completely got ruined.
Sure.
I actually consider this season 2 really our season 1, because our whole approach to everything has changed over time. When we started the curfew curtain calls, originally it was just me, and then we expanded and started to expand, and then quarantine happened in South Carolina, and we wanted to be respectful to everybody and not ask them to be coming in. And so it ended up just being pretty much me for the whole season. Rodney came in and did a trio with me. I had a couple other people come in and join me towards the end of that season.
Even to the point where there was at the very, very beginning of it before and that's where the name came from. The curfew curtain call aspect of it is downtown Columbia, South Carolina actually had a curfew.
That's right.
So you had to be back off the streets by a certain time, or you had to have a letter from your work or whatever.
Yep.
So that's kind of where the name came in, and it literally got so bad to at one point where I wasn't even on site with you, because in the beginning, I would come on site with you even when we were doing it out of your garage, which a lot of people don't know that. In the very first one, we were doing it out of a garage. It didn't look that way, but if you go back and look at the episodes on season 1, you can see the difference between where we were then and versus the warehouse.
Well, but not even that, though. Even over season 1, you can see the studio be built.
Yeah.
So, I just went from, one standard black curtain behind me.
One camera, two camera, three camera, four.
Yeah, we literally, you can see like a whole progression. We should do a video around like showing that progression.
Yeah,
like
no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we should definitely like. I've thought about putting together like a little montage of each of the artists to show like little clips of it. I mean, we have all these videos and stuff now, so which is important for everybody that's watching, which is kind of what this does. We're going to talk about the past 5 episodes, but we're also going to go back and like you can look and go onto YouTube and check out all the episodes that we've done thus far on the Marc Studio. If you're not watching it there and you're watching via Facebook, please go to our YouTube channel, check it out, like us, subscribe us, help us build those numbers and everything, because it's a way of us supporting all of the artists that are here in Columbia and this region and stuff like that, and giving them a platform to perform not only their music but at a quality and a level streaming wise that maybe they didn't have access to. Yeah. So you can go back and watch all of those episodes from season 1 to even the curfew curtain calls and stuff are on there on the YouTube channel. You can find a lot of that stuff already on there, or at least some of them, because I think at the beginning curfew curtain call was on your channel, and then we implemented the On the Marc Studio, because it's funny, that started because it was supposed to be the On the Marc Band YouTube channel that we were going to do. Like, I'd started building that pre-COVID so that we could actually have, because that was your band name, Marcus Cullen and the On the Marc Band. Yep. And it was going to be that YouTube channel so we could start putting promo videos and videos of events and stuff like that. And then it sat there because it was doing nothing. And we're like, well, I think I talked to you and we said, let's switch it to the studio. Let's make this happen. I've already got it built, so let's make the shift.
Well, and I'd like to go ahead and say, everybody, we're kind of working off of some different internet tonight, so it looks like it may be a little spotty on your end as far as like drop frames. What I mean by that is you may see us jump a little bit, but the audio shouldn't cut out. So I'll go ahead and apologize for that, because I'm kind of looking at the stats right now. But Greg, why don't you introduce the very first video?
Oh yeah, no,
and then we'll kind of all talk about it.
So we'll start back from the beginning of the last 5. So the after 4th of July weekend, we took a break. We were actually supposed to have another artist on here who we will get on for season 3. I've already told him I want to have him out, which was Tyler Watson. And then we jumped and we went to our next band, so the next week. And we got an awesome band that is a group of USC students that started playing together and everything. They just released their 2nd album. They're great. Like, all of these kids are amazing, and they got some fantastic music, which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, and stuff. But it's Tripping on Bricks with Ridge Devano.
Yeah, man, that was a great show.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. That was really good. I downloaded. So like, I'll tell you an inside secret for what I did for the last couple streams of the show must go online. I would take the videos that I clipped and put onto Instagram. Yeah. And then just save those to use for this episode. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because I've already clipped it. But I actually picked a different song from the one that we put on Instagram. And again, like Marcus said, if this drops at any rate or anything like that, I'll get all the links and stuff in here, and you can go back and check these entire episodes out on YouTube as well. So we definitely encourage you, if you have any issues, to go back and watch it. But this next one is one of my personal favorite songs of theirs, and I even talked to Ridge about this, and you can actually hear him say, "Oh, it's your favorite too?" Yeah, I think I like it. He says it in the video. So, but it's called Colorblind, and it's off their debut EP, which is called Colorblind.
We haven't done this since the release show, like a year and a half ago. It seems so long ago. Is it your favorite? I think same, yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty torn on this one, but yeah, it's up there for sure for me. It's crazy to think that was our last show in public, was with, well, like an actual ticketed show like that was that long ago. But world's opening back up, so it's time to start coming to live music. It's back, baby. Song's Colorblind.
days are faded too. Just wanted to fill our canvas with pain, but you washed the palette down the drain. I sit here and watch the colors fade to gray. I'm not colorblind, my rainbow just got left behind. Full spectrum, black and white. Full spectrum, colorblind. Were pumping bright red. Now my pulse is blue. Your brown hair on my chest, it just feels like scar tissue. Just wanted to feel like canvas with pain, but you wash the palette down the drain. I sit here and waste away and watch the colors fade to gray. I'm not colorblind, my rainbow just got left behind. Full spectrum, black and white, full spectrum, colorblind.
Man, I just love the energy they put off. Like,
Yeah, man. No.
it's fun watching the drummer. Like, I'm surprised that snare head held up, to be honest.
It's one of those. he was hitting it hard.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was hitting it hard. I definitely don't want to give away any of his. Well, I won't say that one because like, I'm sure at this point somebody has to know. He was really glad that we chose that angle because of some recent artwork that was done. So
okay.
I don't think his family knew about it, so I might have just ousted him.
Oh, dang. I hope his
great.
family's not watching.
No, I doubt it. But like, no, well, I mean, you know, they'll find out eventually. But anyways, no, it was like I had talked to I had talked to him about that song too, and I had mentioned something to Matt Matt Buck, the sound engineer over at the Warehouse, who's one of the other guys that was a part of this crew this season and everything like that, doing the Warehouse portion of it. And shout out to the Warehouse, to Zach and to Matt and to JoJo, everybody that's a part of that let us come in and do our thing, and just really, I can't say thank you enough, because I mean that was a huge game changer.
What was cool about it, I mean, I'm just sitting there watching, is like, man, what Zach does with the lighting is just incredible.
It's amazing.
It's really good. It really just brings such an ambience to what's going on.
We got some really cool pictures this season too. Like you'll notice, like even on the intros and logos and stuff like that, like you can go to our Instagram and see some of them. Like there's one in particular when the dubber came in
That
with
was
that
the best
seat. We
light
talked
shot.
about that
That
on
was
the
the
last
best shot.
I mean, that was the coolest shot when he sat down on that, and all you could see was his silhouette and that purple and yellow lighting coming around him. I was like, oh, I'm getting that picture.
Yeah, it was a good
It's my
shot.
favorite picture I've taken the entire season. But we get some really cool photos that way too, with the lighting coming off of everybody. It just looks really cool. Zach is a killer. Is it light engineer? Is that the proper term? I don't know.
Lighting engineer,
Lighting
light
engineer.
tech.
I mean, just fantastic. I can't thank those guys enough for what they do and what they've done. But we talked about that song in particular, and coming from like a songwriter side of things, I hear that song and I loved it. And I know Matt was like, it's not really my favorite, but he's also coming from a sound engineer side of things, and we talked about that. Like he's coming from a musical side and a sound engineer side of things, and it does. It's a slower song, but it builds, man. Like there's so much room. Like the album version of it to me is good, but hearing it live is just killer.
Yeah,
It's a
which
killer
makes me like, make sure you guys go out and you go and listen to these artists live.
Absolutely.
We're only showing the previous 5 episodes. We have done a couple other Show Must Go Online with Greg and I. We've done one with Rodney, I believe. I can't remember.
Absolutely. No, I mean, yeah.
And so, and I would like to talk about some of the previous artists, before those 5 as well tonight. But, make sure, go to our YouTube channel. Please check these out. Support local music. We're eventually going to be expanding outside of Columbia to the region, and then hopefully bringing some national, international acts that I know, and trying to kind of just expand it. And while we were watching the video, we were actually talking about what we're going to do with season 3, and it's, man, you're going to want to look and be a part, and make sure you like and you subscribe to all of our channels. And when I say subscribe, you go and like our page, Facebook, Instagram, follow us on Instagram, because you're going to want to see season 3. It's going to be just a whole nother step above, because we're always constantly learning, we're always constantly moving forward, and you're going to want to be a part of that. So make sure you don't miss out. Let's kind of dive into, let's kind of talk about maybe our favorite episodes very quick. So, I think my favorite episode, although I might be biased, was probably Noel Lindler. That was like my favorite episode of the
That
It
was
was very entertaining.
That was
I'll tell
a
you that
great
much,
episode. No, my favorite line that entire night, Marc is like, I want to get up and sing that song. Because, I mean, for those that aren't aware, I think it's important to point out, everybody in here is a part of the music scene beyond just this stream. Morgan is in multiple bands. Rodney has multiple things going on. Marcus, of course, plays solo, full bands. You can just go and find these guys online and check out all the stuff they're doing. Rodney's at Shay's Lounge almost every single Thursday playing some jazz.
Except when he
for you
has
and
COVID.
Marcus is, every other Wednesday he's at freaking Zaz on Divine.
Yeah.
You got some shows coming up at
Jake's
got a full
August
band
11th,
coming up.
yeah.
August 11th.
By the way, mark that down on your calendar.
Put that on my
Stuff like
calendar.
that.
I just booked the gig on the stream. How about that?
Money.
That's the way it goes. But you got up to go play. Dialing back. I'm sorry, I digress. But when you said, "Hey, I want to come up and sing that song," because both you and Noel are both in the Chapin area, and you play together, and you've got kind of an ongoing back and forth and a rant. If you go back and check their feeds, it's funny. There's some great stuff that's happened over COVID between the two of these guys.
Yes.
And he goes, "Yeah, sure, you can come up and ruin my live stream," and I about cracked, man.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
great.
"Oh my god, that was
He's
great."
the great thing about Noel is he's really witty.
Oh,
And it actually
Oh, got the paintball.
Can you turn that around? We're not allowed to show logos.
oh, sorry. I don't even know if we got it on camera.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not even sure if
probably
it
we
switched.
probably did. But the great thing about Noel and what he does live on stage, I've seen him write songs like that. Like
He did it on the stream, too.
right on stage, and it's incredible. His wit is just honestly, it's a stroke of genius, to be honest.
That's the only way the pandemic has kind of been a blessing, because I met him because of the whole pandemic. You know, when we started, that's the only reason I met him. You know, otherwise I don't know if I would have ever had the opportunity to play for him or hear him sing if it hadn't been.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
that,
we definitely wouldn't have done this and started this platform had it not been for the pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, because we were looking at, I mean, just like everybody before the pandemic, like, you know, full disclosure, Marcus and I work together, we're business partners, and we got hit hard. I mean, we lost a lot of shows. So did everybody. I mean, everybody got hurt. Financially, just emotionally, even because like to be able to get out and play the music and everything like that, it's important for these artists, and I see it even from an outside perspective. You know, I see it and I feel it because
the thing is like when I was still living in Florida, I started building a studio in my house, and this idea of doing what we're doing right now was it was birthed then.
Yeah.
But this was about 4 or 5 years ago, and so COVID was really the boot in the ass to make it happen.
That's right, because we did. It's part of the name, the On the Real live sessions. Part of that idea came from both the On the Mark aspect of it, but you had the Real sessions was your other thing.
No, you can. It's
Okay.
fine. Shout out to Sean Burrows.
Yeah,
like my
so
guy.
it was a marrying of those two things, which is where we got the On the Real aspect of it, because I'm like, that just kind of keeps that I guess alliteration.
Well, the thing about that was it wasn't live streaming. We would go into major studios with a big camera crew, and we would rent the studio for multiple days, and we would sell 1 hour time slots to artists, and they would come in and record as many songs as they could in that hour, and then they would get multiple videos cuts, professionally mixed and professionally edited, and so it was a different business model than what we're doing right now, which is just live streaming. And so we've kind of taken the idea, and that's why I'm saying you're gonna want to be a part of season 3, because what we have planned for you is going to be over the top. So we're going to take this whole idea and take it to the next level. And not only that, as the seasons progress, we're going to do something different. We're not going to be at the same spot every single time for that season. For the different seasons. So season 3 will be this one idea and thing, and then season 4 will be a completely different thing as well. So that's the goal, so it doesn't kind of be monotonous,
Yeah.
And,
and also like, that idea of one of the things we talked about too is the idea was supposed to be regional. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got as far as Atlanta this season. So, we had Ryan Atkinson came all the way up from Atlanta.
That was one of my favorites.
That was a cool show. Yeah. But I think for me though, my favorite was the one that was the most unexpected as to what was going to happen, which is our next video.
Oh, okay.
Which you already know who I'm talking about.
Are you talking about Marshall Brown?
I'm talking about Marshall Brown. That was the
was
weirdest and coolest show I think we've done all season, because I didn't know where this was going to go. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like
weird in a good way. So
no,
so we
absolutely.
Can,
No, very very eclectic, but like I kind of knew it going in. Like, oh, this is going to be fun and different.
To me, it's very few and often you get to experience kind of raw artistry in moments like that, and I have never been really put off. And what I mean, like, put off guard, like when I'm sitting there watching, he pulls out this credit card, and I'm sitting in my mind, and if there's any kids watching, but I'm gonna be real, plug your ears. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like sitting there like, what is he doing? And then he starts reading the credit card, and I'm like,
yeah.
Which we found out afterwards was not the actual credit card number. So if you
I
go back and
started
watch that
plugging
video-
it in.
Did you really? Yeah, you were like,
I was
need a
on
new pair of
Amazon
shoes.
Prime.
I
was trying to
know,
get
I was
You're
like,
that didn't work.
I want some money. But
No, I think one of the two of you said something too. Because they had that the music thing too, and they had like audio effects ready to go.
Yeah.
And then one of you was like, "Where are the crickets coming from?" I don't know if that was you or Morgan.
I can't remember.
I think it might have been Rod. It might have been Rod.
That was me.
Like, where are those crickets coming from? Like, oh no, we got crickets in the studio.
it was incredible. I mean, Greg already. Hey, that's cool. So you said yours was Ryan Atkinson.
Ryan Atkinson.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I just thought it was just an amazing performance. The way he did everything, looped everything, the way he wrote the songs. I thought that was really dope. And Safe Film, I really liked them too. Just their harmonies and the way they, had their songs written as well. I just thought they were a good group.
Yeah.
So I was very entertaining. Like again, it's people I don't get to see because I'm busy on the nights that they're working. You know. So
yeah, exactly.
That's the great thing about this platform.
What about-
So that's.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, it's been nice to meet people I would have never met.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mojo, what about you,
bud?
So I am a little biased to Tripping on Bricks just because I got to be part of that one. That was a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
he did play
right.
bass. He did play bass.
Forgot about that. Let's.
I'll be a little bit closer.
Yeah, please and thanks. So people can hear you.
Didn't
I
even-
can hear you.
We didn't even say that beforehand. I totally forgot. Yeah, if you watch that video, if you saw Tripping on Bricks playing, this guy had to jump in last second.
He did all right.
So
He's all right.
no, it's
mediocre at best.
Ridge messaged me like a few days, like a week maybe, or a few days before, like when I put the event up, and he's like, hey, I don't have a bass player, and I'm having trouble finding one. And I'm like, well, it's your lucky day. We've got two of the best bass players in Columbia working in the space with us.
I actually can show that video again. I can show it without audio, just so you can
Can
see
you
our.
just zoom in on his goofy face?
Yeah, we can probably. Let me see here. Let me make sure I turn off that. You can look. It's gonna be on the right side. You see him? He's bending over like a good old musician. I think he's tuning his bass guitar. I miss your long hair, dude.
Oh, well, it's growing back. I'm growing it back out.
Are you?
I'm growing
Is
it
that a
back out.
promise?
Oh, that's a promise.
So yeah, well, you saw him. That's all we need to see of
Yeah.
that video again. But yeah, like he saw him just to kind of
Did a
prove
good
it.
job, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I didn't want anybody to think we were lying.
No, I'm lying.
Well, that's why they go back and watch. The
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Who's lying?
Stevie and the Crooked
Oh
Lions.
my gosh,
I'm lying.
That's one of those
You ever
things.
lie in the
Yeah.
crooked line?
Well, Greg, let's introduce the next video. Let's move on.
So going back to what we're talking about, Marshall Brown came in and he's like, hey, I'm going to do basically my entire album that I just released, which you can find on Spotify, on iTunes. It's called ASMR.
which stands for?
I don't remember the exact thing,
Me
but if
either.
you've ever seen those videos where they like scratch and get real soft and they whisper in your ear, Claire loves those videos. She loves those things.
Really?
No. Creeps her out. I love it. But no, it's not even spelt like the letters ASMR. It's like AS.
Yeah, EM.
EM. I can't. AR. Yeah, sure. Something like that. But this is the name of this song is called "Changing of the Garb." So
Changing of the Garb in 3, 2.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. My name is Marshall Brown. This is my buddy, old pal, Shane Sanders over here, and he's helping me out tonight. Wanted to do a solo-ish show. So we got this duo thing here. Trying to do a little bit different kind of a show than I would do if it was just a little something different than my typical solo shows. And if you haven't noticed, we're playing through the entirety of my new album, ASMR. So if you haven't heard that, check that out. You can go to marshallbrownmusic.com. It's also on all streaming services. So check that out. We're going to continue on. Thank you again for streaming. I've been tied up in knots. I've been wrestling with my thoughts. I've been minded by these slams. I've been hashing out my fears, prepping for the coming years. I wanna be a new man, not an old man. I've been turning up the soil, digging through my mortal coil, making spaces for new roots to grow. I've been tossing out the weeds, cultivate my needs. I wanna reach a new high, not a new low. Yeah, I wanna reach a new time for trying out some new heights. Goodbye to putting on the red. I just want to take a seat and changing of the God, changing of the God, changing of the God. I really can't fill my dreams with your get rich quick schemes. I'm just trying to go it down a little slower. If I'm not on the booze and I seem a little far removed, it's just I'm not a shower, I'm a grower. Wanna be a grower, 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 grower. Yeah, 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 yeah. I really can't have a bucket list. I just wanna hit more than I miss. Changing of the God, 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 changing of the God. If you were listening to a record right now, you'd be turning over to side B. B.
All right. So, man, listen, that was Mark has asked me, is this the one where he does the credit card? No, you will know when he does that. He goes. So you'll see. There's in the background if you watch that video.
I'll show
again,
you Jordan during. Yeah. That's what he does. He's like.
Yeah, because he puts like a specialty cover on it. I don't think it worked out quite as well as he thought it was going to, but regardless, I mean, he definitely, like, when you hear the fade out in the end, he's just whispering, and it's the weirdest but funniest and just enjoyable thing that I've witnessed.
Yeah,
the entire
like I
time
said,
I've
it
been
was
there.
just really, honestly, raw artistry.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like going, never experienced anything like this. Like,
At the beginning, he said,
Ever.
"Can I bring in my mannequin with this Bill Clinton mask and sunglasses, and bring my coat?" Which there's a coat that this fur, like faux fur, fluffy thing that he wore, and it's on his album cover for ASMR. So like he's like, I want to go full album on this, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it.
That was Bill Clinton.
That was, you didn't notice
I
the
thought
Bill
it was
Clinton
Ric
mask
Flair.
on the mannequin?
I thought it was Ric Flair.
Who did you think it was?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Can I get a woo?
Thought it was the Nature Boy.
Wow.
Did it not look like Ric Flair?
It's because of the coat.
It's
It's
just the
because
coat.
of the
It's the
coat and the sunglasses, yeah. But that was a Bill Clinton mask, 100%. 100%.
You guys.
It was great. It was a great night, man. I can't wait to have him out here at Uncle Fester's or something like that too. You know, like that's I want to definitely, you know, have him do his thing. So that's just a fun night.
I don't know what you guys are laughing about.
I just keep hearing him chuckling over here.
Ric Flair.
He's just here. It's just woo in his head going over
Yeah,
again.
it
Woo!
I thought it was Ric Flair. I
don't know if we can say that. We might get defunded for that one. but
Yeah,
oh
his
Whoa.
name is copyrighted
Demonetized.
probably.
Whoa.
well. Whoa! It's
Yeah,
whoa!
whoa.
No, it's, that's Keanu Reeves.
That's gone too far.
He's going. Bro, Pablo, like, is that what you're talking about? The comedian?
Oh, Pablo Francisco.
Yeah. He said, you gotta see that. That's great. You ever seen Pablo Francisco? Sorry,
I guess I don't know that one.
No,
No.
we're going on a tangent right now.
Yeah.
Right? He's one of my favorite comedians. Yeah.
Listen, I don't get to watch as much stand-up as I used to because Claire is not a big fan of stand-up comedy. So,
Really?
which is funny because she's the funniest fucking person.
She would be the best
I mean,
My
stand-up.
heart just broke a little bit.
I mean, listen, you know what? I'm going to say something. She came out to the stand-up show we had at Uncle Fester's this past Thursday, and she endured and she had a good time, I think, for the most part. But
I got some texts.
Brandon, oh, yeah.
I got some texts.
Yeah, I know.
She was like,
I know.
she was just
telling me as she was texting
No,
you.
what she told me specifically, to clarify here, so we don't think anybody, like, she was calling anybody shit. That's not what was happening. But what was, she said basically, if I were to come here at that moment, that she would get up and do stand up. Because I've been asking her for about a year now, probably.
Yes, yeah. You're like, I'll do a show and I'm gonna have you open. You've been begging for her to like do some stand up.
She told me that I had to be here within 45 minutes and pay her $500.
What a stipulation.
I had my kids. I couldn't do that. It was
Listen,
impossible.
I will say, like, it started out at $5,000.
Oh.
But Brandon kept, she was drinking and it got lower, and she's like, I'll do it. I'm doing it right now. She was literally taking notes. She was ready to go. I'm not even kidding. If you would have come out here, she would have done it. She probably, at that point, by the time you got here, she'd have been like $50.
If I wouldn't have been like a terrible father for like tearing my kids out of bed, putting them in a car seat, bringing them to a bar so they could hear comedy, I don't know.
No, it was definitely not kid-friendly night. That
No,
night for us,
no, not at all.
I was concerned. But it was a good show. It was a great time, man. I got to give a shout-out to, I know this is off the stuff, going off the reel a little bit here, but I got to give a shout-out to Michael Garrick for putting that show together. We've got another one coming up next month, and he's got a podcast called Pop and Culture, and it's fun. He's got a few different comedians that tune in, local guys that are really funny, that are part of that on the regular for them as well. So check that out, Pop and Culture. It's really funny. Like, these guys are great. So
Pop and culture.
Poppin'.
Poppin'.
Poppin culture.
Poppin'.
Yeah. So it's a lot of local
Poppin' your
comedians and other
Yeah.
folks. Yeah. Little 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Well, let's move right along to our episode 17. Why don't you introduce that as well?
Well, I think you should introduce that one.
I'm pretty sure that I know who it is. Reggie. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Which clip is this?
this is okay. So this is one of their newest songs. The one we
Oh,
both
okay.
love, so-
I got this.
Yeah,
I got
I'll let you handle
got
it.
this. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to a theater near you. No, Reggie and I met probably 8 years ago now down in Key West, and he's one of the reasons why I moved to Columbia. And they just wrote this song, and it's one of, in my opinion, it's one of his most impressive, lyrically written songs and the story he's telling. Now, he has a ton of incredible songs. Make sure you go to iTunes, Spotify, go to his website, go and buy his material. He's incredible. So I'm definitely not demeaning any other song he's written, but this one, his newest one, it just tells a story, and it's called Knockout Queen. And Jeff on the drums really gives it that spice that really backs up the lyrical content. One thing that I love about Reggie in general is all of his musicians, and we talk about this all the time, that everything that's happening on stage needs to reinforce what the message is being told. So whatever the story is in being told, the musical elements also have to support the idea of that. And in this clip, Jeff on drums and Evans McGill on guitar, they really bring that song to life with how they support the lyrical content through a lot of cool things, but I'm not going to ruin it for you. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Reggie Sullivan Band, Knockout Queen.
But we're back. The song is called Knockout Queen. It's about going out, having a little bit too much fun, and having to face the queen when you get home. I was having a dream, y'all. Oh, I was having a good dream. Cigarettes and having a ball at the bar on Jersey Street. Well, I was so drunk I had to find a way home. Oh, my baby's still in bed 'cause she ain't pick up the phone. Sneaking in, oh, it won't be easy. Well, I slipped into my PJs not to make a sound. Snuck into the bed, she never turned around. Then I fell right fast asleep. Listen, y'all. Oh, I was having a dream. Hey, I was on an African safari in my favorite Hawaiian shirt. Oh, to my surprise, a pack of lions arrived, and they wanted to eat my arms. Not my arms, y'all. Listen now. Well, now I pulled a gun out my pocket. You see, I aimed high over my head and I shot it. Oh, the booming was so loud that it pulled me up out of my sleep. And my baby was raring back for another swing. Don't hit me, baby. I was just having a dream. Hey! Oh, yeah. I was having a dream, y'all. I was on that safari. I was looking at lions and tigers and zebras and monkeys. Oh, yeah. And the grass, y'all, it was rolling. And the hills, it was rolling. Oh, I was having a good time. Come on, Evans. Hey! listen closer now. You see, I pulled a gun out my pocket. Yeah, and I aimed high over my head and I shot it. Oh, the boom, and it was so loud that it woke me up out of my sleep. Oh, to a left hook. Oh, a haymaker. She was swinging for the fences, lady. Oh, undefeated, knockout queen. Hey! Little knockout queen for you. I hope you guys.
Jeff, I love you. Oh my goodness. So that was actually probably my favorite one that we did. In all honesty, I mean, we did have a slight technical, problem, but everything about that show, through production, the lighting, everything was just absolutely on point that night. I don't know. I was vibing that night extremely hard.
Well, that was the first night that I tried using my Steadicam.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably saw a little bit more of a freelance shot, and so I couldn't get the weights right on the damn Steadicam. So I was trying to make it,
Wait, what
steady.
were you doing again?
Yeah,
No, okay, it's not. That's not appropriate.
yeah, not at all.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I was trying to make the shots real steady, and that was actually the very first stream ever that my computer crashed.
Oh wow.
Oh man, yeah, no.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
You miss if you go back and you watch this video on YouTube, we hate it. The first 15 minutes is gone. Which is 5-minute intro, and then
It was
the first
halfway
10
through
minutes.
the second song.
So yeah, I mean we're like 7 or 8 minutes in easily, and like somebody messaged me, he's like, we're not getting any audio. I'm seeing the audio, and as I'm trying to make a correction or whatever, I'm just looking at the computer, and it just full shutdown and then reloads, and I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
You know, which is funny because Reggie was one of the first bands that we had on for the Curfew Curtain Call,
That
and
got
that
canceled.
was a whole different ball game, man. We had so many. Like, we were trying to run it off of not great internet, off of phones.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about this too. I mean, I have so much respect and admiration for Reggie
Yes.
that even the interview afterwards, I had a hard time with because I was
You were
I was
nervous,
super
yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, no, I asked you
I was
about it
very
later. I
nervous,
was like,
yeah.
that's the shortest post-show interview we've done. He's like, I was so nervous.
Yeah, I was wicked nervous.
I love Reggie so much. And
I do.
felt like I was, yeah, I know. I was like, I get it, man.
They're definitely a staple in this city. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? As far as
He's
the
one
work
of the
they
first
put in.
people that I met outside of the crew that I started like kind of working with musicians with, and to the point where like I wound up being Evans and I were roommates for like a year and a half or a year or so, so like yeah, I mean it was definitely some crossover there in all of the music scene, and you guys knew each other going way back too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, we were also talking about our experiences playing with them on stage. I've played with all three of them on stage together. Very first time was actually at this place in Orlando. I'm not going to name the place because I'm not going to do that. But it was, it's closed down now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, anyway, so we were doing this conglomerate of musicians living in a band house, and it was probably, I don't know, 8 months after I started singing. And I got on stage with Reggie and his band, and I was wicked nervous then, and it just kind of took off from there. And then we did a wedding, a month and a half ago. 2 weddings back to back, Charleston and
Yeah, that's
Kentucky.
right.
And you were saying that you just played with Jeff.
Yeah, I played with Jeff at Shay's Lounge with Drew Medlin on Saturday, and Jeffrey was singing and playing drums. It was a really good
He's a
show.
beast,
Yeah,
man.
He's
He's
amazing.
got a great voice too. You don't hear it in this one so much, but like he's got a couple. Like if you go back a couple of their albums, like Supernatural was their last album. He's got a couple songs on there that I really enjoyed.
I'm
Baby
impressed
Be
by his
Gone.
range though.
Yeah.
Like I was. You're singing that high, like you know. It was
You
like
guys, like when right before COVID happened at the beginning of 2020, like January, February, we did an event at was it Central Energy? It was a private event.
That's right.
8-piece, 7-piece band.
So, yeah, something like that.
Reggie, Kanika, and then you and Jesse. And it was like a 70s party. And
Yeah.
of course, he did like Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. And man, he hit those notes. And I was like,
Yeah, that's not easy stuff to sing right there.
It's great. He was full fly too. You know
I think
what I'm
I think I attribute it to his seat that he sits on. It's got something that's got to be special about that seat. Like I don't know, man.
No.
Helps him get those.
No.
He's really a beast, though.
He's good.
He's really a beast.
Really.
Yeah, and Evans is a beast within himself. Like he's really amazing guitarist. And
Yeah, he is.
he's just really good.
He's a good hang. All of them are good hangs too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Outside the stage.
I've gotten a chance to like study with Reggie a couple times on Upright, and like just how friendly he is, and like he just cares about the scene.
Yeah.
Like he's a real good dude. So
No, I'm ready. I've already talked to Evans. So like, what's it, tomorrow? I think. What day is today? Today's the first, second.
Second.
So tomorrow, I think we've already, even though he's probably going to watch it at like 3:00 in the morning, we're definitely going to go. Claire and I said we're going to go watch Suicide Squad over at his place.
The new one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't know
that's
that.
right.
Oh, we're definitely going to go check that out.
Did they recast Will Smith? What's that?
No, different character.
Different character.
Different
Okay.
character.
I didn't really look
Yeah,
into it too much.
yeah. No, different character, different director. It looks good. I'm excited. I'm excited by it, but that's not what this show's about. So.
No. Let's talk about episode 18. So
Episode 18. So
Yeah.
I think I want to say something. This is kind of important too, because and Rodney, you mentioned it at the beginning. Like season 1 was definitely a lot of it was kind of, even Marcus and I weren't there on every episode together. I was actually doing a lot of stuff remotely from the little 1-bedroom studio apartment that Claire and I got stuck in during COVID, and like handling the comment side of it from the house. I would even sit outside just so I didn't bug her and stuff like that while it was going. And then season 2 comes along. We reach out to Rodney. We need him. And then I'm like, man, we need more people. This isn't enough to be able to do this stuff. So I got Morgan. And then this wasn't the first time that Baxter, who's sitting over here right now, switching the cameras. Thank you so much.
cameraman, can you?
Yeah, switch your own camera to yourself. I really want to throw it out there for Mr. Jordan Griffin, Jordan Griffin, for stepping up and for coming out and for taking part and just joining this team, man. It means a lot to have. It's hard to find people that meet all those boxes. You know what I'm saying? That are organized, that are on top of it, that can be on time.
Look good, smell good.
Like,
Smell good. It's very.
Morgan's like, I feel attacked. No. But like, no, that can hit all those boxes and like just wants to be a part of this thing and everything like that. And this was actually the first show where he ran the switcher for us and did the cameras.
Really?
Because that was the day that you were so upset because I know you wanted to be there so bad. Because you still hadn't met Jeff.
Oh, geez,
You
yeah.
still hadn't met
I
Jeff
have
yet.
not met Jeff
My
yet.
twin,
Yeah.
one of my mini twins in Columbia is Jeff. Which I talk about that in the post-show interview, where I had this guy. I don't know if you watched. I don't think you did.
I was
I
down in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the Off the Reel episode, I talked about how I had this guy reach out to me and was asking about getting some people to book for this local event in this town. I won't be specific because I don't want to like dog the guy or anything like that. But he's like, yeah, I need some artists to play for this outside like farmers market thing or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I know a couple people and like stuff like that based on your price, and I'll throw some people names and everything to them. I'm not booking them, but like you can reach out to these folks. I'm not doing any more work than that. And he's like, well, what about Prettier Than Matt and everything? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, they probably need more than what you're offering, but I mean, like I don't know, I can't speak for them, I don't represent them. And he's like, because he was really pushing for me to like give a price point for Prettier Than Matt. And he's like, don't you play with Prettier Than Matt in the text?
Oh wow!
On Facebook, like he's messaged me, and I'm like, it says my name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, it doesn't say Matt or Jeff. So I mean, but like he thought the entire time that he was talking to me that I was Jeff. Oh, and so I'm like, funny. This happens so much. And I told Jeff about that. I was like, I've been confused for him so many times, but that was a good one. And I know you wanted to be there, and then Rodney couldn't be there that day because he was sick. So it was Jordan's time to step up to the plate, and I think you did a great job, man. I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. And I think with season 3, like I said, we're gonna have more stuff for more people to do on these things. So, but this is a great song, and we talked about this one too because you were there, and it really hits an interesting nerve too within the music community, and there's something to be something to listen to in this song. If you haven't heard it yet, it's called Small Town Famous, and it's by Pretty the Matt. But listen to the words. You'll hear him talk about it and everything.
This next song is on our brand new album, and it's called Small Town Famous. Kind of started out as a joke, a song that I just kind of started thinking up, I think, just driving around in my car. And I don't know, like the chorus just sort of came to me, and just thinking about, you know, not just the Columbia music scene, but there's a lot of different music scenes and a lot of, not just music, but other avenues and other groups of people that you might hang around. And you always have a handful of those people who think that they're better than everyone else, or that they're more important, or, you know, they have more clout or whatever, just because they got a little taste of something. So this song is kind of just taking a made-up scenario and kind of spinning off of that.
It's about no one in particular.
It is. I did have more than one person in mind when I wrote this.
I have one, but I won't ever say who it is.
Yeah, don't ever ask us. Ruh-roh. Come on, guys. Keep it together. All right. Been out to every show, from the hole in the walls to the main stage festivals. Bought the merch, CD shirts, koozies and hats and all the posters. The VIP backstage pass, but little did I know that you were so crass. I guess you must be jaded. Your fans and friends have all but faded. 'Cause you're small town famous, a few strums and a pickup line. Small town famous, cheap talk over red wine. Small town famous, a hug and smile and a friendly handshake, but you don't even know my name. 'Cause you're small town famous. Drove across town to see you wail. Paid $5 at the door, but my friends all bailed. Stayed till the end, hung by the stage while you chatted with a girl, least half your age. You made it to me in time for last call. Said you ran to the bar for a little more alcohol. I guess I must be jealous, but I hate to be the one to tell you. You're just small town famous. You're recognized in the parking lot. You're small town famous. One hit and you think you're hot. You're small town famous, and you think you paid your dues, and your fans only feel abused. You're small town famous. It's not just about getting from A to B. Oh, it's the miles in between. There's not much difference between you and me, but you might be too blind to see. You're small town famous. You're just small town famous. You're small town famous, a few strums and a pickup line. Small town famous, cheap talk over red wine. Small town famous, a hug, a smile, and a friendly handshake, but you don't even know my name. No, you don't even know my name. 'Cause you're small town famous. Oh, small town famous. Small town famous.
So that was Small Town Famous, if she didn't say it enough in the song,
Yeah.
by Pretty the Mat, which I got to give a huge shout out to Jessica and Jeff. Jessica, who is several months along now. Her and her husband have a baby on the way.
Baby girl, right?
Baby girl, due right around Christmas time.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Bonus,
So
man. You only have to buy one set of presents.
Absolutely. To which, to clarify, Jeff and Jessica are musician partners, not partners in life. So he is not the father. I'm just going to say that, although I did say I think a great name for the girl would be Jeffica. That was my joke of the evening, Jeffica. It's a good, but then
Mike Tyson
convince
saying it.
people that it's a family name. You just convince people that it's a family name and not in any way influenced by her musical partner, Jeff Pitts. So, but no, both of them were not feeling well. Like they were both kind of like they had a long weekend of performing, and they were like, man, they were ready to like kind of call it. But they get out there and they did it, and God, they sounded so good. Even with like that little congestion and everything like that, they still sounded so good. She made the adjustments on the fly and took it down an octave or wherever she needed to move.
I was just enjoying that song.
Yeah.
My favorite line was being recognized in the parking lot. I was like, darn.
Absolutely, I was calling
Like,
people
what?
out. Which speaking of recognizing them in the parking lot, if you I got to call out this particular event that's happening in November. If you want to see them live and a bunch of other artists and stuff like that, some of whom have been on this stream. Congaree Bluff just found out that they're going to be out there at it. Pretty the Mat, some other folks that we know, which is Land Jam. This is the second year that Doug Gainey has done this, and it's in Lugoff, South Carolina, which is where I'm from. So I got to give a shout out there. I might try to make it out this year to that, because I think Doug's done a really good job of bringing in a lot of local artists and stuff like that. He'll bring in some regional and bigger acts and stuff like that for like Drift Jam and stuff like that. But he definitely does really good about trying to promote these local bands and regional bands and bringing them in and everything like that. And it's really cool to see what he's done, even through everything that's happened in the past year.
Yeah.
So definitely give a shout out for that.
Gotta love Doug.
Yeah.
He's good. I met him. He came and saw me at a show at Liberty when I first.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts a timestamp on. It's like 3 years ago now.
It's been a while, man. Yeah, no, it's been crazy.
It's been a little bit. But we're going to move on to episode 19. So do you want to introduce this, Greg? Or
Yeah, episode 19 was, obviously that was our season 2 finale. This is kind of a recap episode. I reached out to them at a certain point because Matt Buck and I had both, we had talked about, folks that we wanted, we talked about folks
we had
that we
a
wanted
meeting
out.
about it.
And the only one that Matt Buck was like, I'd like to have these guys out, was Safe Him. So I was like, definitely, I'm going to reach out to Katie. Because, Matt and I, we did an open mic together over at the White Mule when it was in 5 Points. And the first time that trio ever performed live for any event was actually at our open mic at the White Mule. So it's like, it's cool. Full circle at this point. So, and it was a trio. So it was just Katie, Max, and Desiree. And so now they've just upped the ante, and they had Brendan Bull on drums, and the whole 6-piece band. So what a way to end that season! Yeah, with that harmonies and all the instrumentation and everything like that. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was dope. It was good. That was one of my favorites.
And they've got an album out now too on iTunes, so you can check that out as well. But I mean, it was just a fun time.
It was fun.
It was super chill. It was an interesting experience because we knew that was going to be our last episode for that season at the warehouse too. So we just kind of felt it that's it. It
was good, and like I said, these seasons have progressed from going to just from solo acts to duo acts to full bands, and it's been fun. What's the name of the song?
So the name of the song, which honestly I thought was going to be like a mashup of 2 really famous songs with these names, is called Layla Jean, which has nothing to do with Layla or Billie Jean. But I do like that name though. I do enjoy that. So again, it's called
Maybe
Layla
it's a
Jean.
suggestion for Jessica.
Oh, very good.
Layla Jean.
Layla Jean by Safe M. Here it is.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We are Say Femme. Thanks so much for listening. That first song is called Doubt. You can find it on our EP. It's called Souvenirs by Say Femme, and it's on all streaming platforms. And we're really excited it's out there. And we're excited to play for you guys tonight. Thanks for tuning in. This next song is also on our EP. It's called Layla Jean. And we're going to play it for you. Thanks.
Watch Katie go to Washington. She thinks she's leaving town. Watch Katie go to Washington, baby, and turn right back around, right back around. Hitting the crowd, she was walking the streets, just a backpack and a guitar. Thought she was falling a heart, but she left it right there in a dive bar. Watch Katie go to Washington. She thinks she's leaving town. Watch Katie go to Washington, baby. Turn right back around to Layla Jean. You're still in my dreams, Layla Jean. No, you won't leave me, 'cause I'm just trying to go where I think the grass is green, but I can never leave you, Layla Jean. Katie, she does whatever she wants. She marches to the beat of her own goddamn drum. Katie's gonna do whatever she wants and whatever she wants and whatever she wants is Layla Jean. Oh, you're still in my dreams, Layla Jean. No, you won't leave me, 'cause I'm just trying to go where I feel the grass is green, but I can never leave you, Layla Jean. Oh, oh. You're still in my mind and in my memory. Oh, Layla Jean. You're still in my dreams, Layla Jean. No, you won't leave me, 'cause I'm just trying to go where I feel the grass is green, but I can never leave you. No, I could never leave you. Oh, I could never leave you, Layla Jean. Layla Jean. Oh. Watch Katie go to Washington and turn right back around, right back around.
Layla Jean.
Layla Jean.
Now we know all about her.
We know about her.
We know everything.
I'm still confused. I don't know where she's from. I think
me
she's
either.
from Washington.
Yeah.
I think she likes long walks on the beach.
I don't think they said that.
That's what I gathered.
Aquarius?
I don't think they said that.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
It's age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius.
I mean, listen, that entire show, like, you just got to go back and watch that whole thing. The harmonies across the spectrum were just fantastic, and you were saying it earlier, man. And I think we said it that day. I think Brendan has been on more streams than anybody else other than you. Or
Brendan
myself.
Brendan is just a freaking professional, man.
He's really
he
dope.
is honestly. 1 of those rare musicians that you find that are always on their game. I mean, always on their game. And he's just such a. Not only is he just an incredible musician, he's just, Morgan was saying
really a good hang,
Yeah,
and diverse in the style. If you want to do straight ahead, he can go there. If you want to do funk, he can go there. If you want to do rock, he can go there.
But hearing him play a second line beat, is nasty.
Yeah. He got a lot of game in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's been down there with the
It's
Saints.
insane. His second line is.
I think for sure, like in this past year, he's probably played on that house kit at the warehouse more than anybody else because the Cola Jazz stuff's there on Wednesday, and like when I'm there doing the cameras for that one, like that. He's there, and like even then, like I think his hat fell off during one of them. He just kept going, even though we told him it wasn't live; it was recorded, so he could have stopped and we could have fixed it. But he kept moving.
But somebody like him being in demand, you understand why everybody wants to call him. Like if you get to play with him or get to hang with him, you're like,
Well, that should honestly that should be a message for the younger cats coming up in the scene. Like. You need to you need to look at the people that are working constantly, and you have to literally search. There's really nothing I can say negative about Brendan. And those are the guys. Like if you're going to get into the scene, you wanna meet them. You want to pick their brain because they're the ones that are going to make you successful.
And they'll talk to you. They'll actually give you advice versus a lot of other people who won't. Give you anything. He'll actually give you advice. Something that you can actually use. So shout out to Brendan Bull.
Shout out to Brendan Bull.
I had a guy come in the other day for the open mic here at Sundays, and young kid just moved into town, going to school, and man, he was great, doing some country music stuff. And I just started. He's like, do you know where I can play? Like, what's some places? I'm like, this is what you need to do. And I literally like ran on the line. I'm like, you need to go check out these guys and watch them, see what they do. Like. He's 20 years old. Like he's just starting out. He's got some great songs that he did that I heard. He's got an album already on iTunes, and I think he recorded it in his closet. Bless his heart. But like he's good, and like I'm like you need to. This is the next step that you need to do. Here, and here.
You need to follow Marcus. Go to all of his shows.
No, I mean, but seriously, like, and I told him, I said, especially leaning like on that country acoustic, like folksy kind of stuff and everything too. I mentioned several of the guys that we already had on the stream. Just kind of recapping even this season: Jeff Gregory, Chris Compton, Brandon Lowther. From previous season, like when Brooks, who's going to be back this coming week, he just a shout out to Brooks Herring from our previous season. Congratulations, man, Dr. Brooks Herring, by the way.
Yes.
Got to give a shout out to him. We're going to have him back out on season 3, I'm sure. And we'll swing better this time because I know that was a rough one for us.
Well, we had some technical issues on our end, and it was kind of rough. That's we were still figuring things out as a 2-man team. Yeah. And so, I can't. Yeah. But it doesn't look like a garage, man, at all. It was you would have never known.
Do you know how excited I was to know that we were going to the warehouse and like just realizing like yes, it's going to be cooler because you keep it an average 6 or 7 degrees warmer in your house than I do.
No, I don't. It's like 68. So you're saying you have it like 62?
No, but like I just know that like during the winters and stuff like that, you would turn the heat up a lot, and I would be like, oh, I gotta take my sweater off. I'm hot.
I would use the fire, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's there. Yeah. And who wouldn't want to use the fire?
When we go on road trips and everything, I was like, you better bring a blanket because I'm definitely turning the AC on if I'm driving.
Speaking of, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Band problems.
I go down and take my trip. So I was just down in Florida yesterday for a wedding, and the weirdest thing was happening with the van. I would stop, we'd get gas or whatnot, van's idling. I mean, you could freeze, vegetables in front of the damn, the vents, right? Yeah. And then once I get up to 70 miles an hour, just totally like warm and hot. So I'm sweating the whole time like we're driving.
That's miserable.
It was, and today on the way back was even worse.
It was a hot day today.
Yeah, we ended up opening up all the windows.
We're gonna have to definitely take a look at that because that doesn't sound good.
No, it's not.
I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Yeah,
the age and everything like that. So, and now that Brooks is back, we can definitely have him.
Well, you saw some of the buses I sent you.
That's true.
I've been thinking about it.
You've sent me those short buses, and I'm like, I don't know if you're making fun of me or what.
I want to transform a short bus into a traveling bus.
To a party bus.
No, a traveling bus.
Party
I want to put a couple like bunk beds in the back and
Stripper pole in the middle. For
exactly. That's what Rodney does on our trips.
That's it. He just works on his stripper routine.
All right now.
But we should wrap this up, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight for the Show Must Go Online. We do this like every 5 episodes or so during the seasons where we kind of recap what just went on. I want to give a shout out to our team here once again, who has been absolutely incredible. We've built this team over this season. Some faces that I never would have expected, to be honest. Not because of lack of skill, just I never thought they'd be interested in this, and this has been a pleasant surprise. And much love to all of you guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna, because you can't see him, but we'll give Baxter another shout out doing all the switching tonight. Woo! Thanks, bud. And this is my good friend Rodney, and this is Mojo, and this is Greg. Thanks so much. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel on the Marc Studio. And consider becoming a Patreon. Everything helps y'all. We would eventually like to make money. So thank you so much, y'all.
Well, hey, before you kill it real quick, let's just again make sure you guys go in, subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything. Like he said, we're going to be pushing and promoting some stuff during the off season. We got a lot of cool things that we've got kind of in the works and in our brains for season 3. But again, in that time, if there's somebody that you guys know of, or you're like, man, they would do really good on this stream, or these guys would be really cool to have out, or I'd love to hear more about this band that I know, or something like that, and you're watching, let us know. Send us the information. We'll definitely check it out. We definitely want to have a bigger pool to choose from and stuff like that within the next season and everything like that. And so please let us know. Share it. Share the stream with them. Let them reach out to us as well. And share the stream with your friends and your family and everything. All it does, it doesn't cost you anything to like and subscribe and share.
It's the easiest way to support, man. I don't seriously. It's one of my biggest issues. People will sit there and at my gigs, probably at your gigs too, they'll be like, "You're amazing," but they won't they won't share your content, they won't do it, and it doesn't cost you any money to do that. And honestly, it helps us so much. The more people that see what we do, it helps our career. So make sure you go and you like our page on Facebook. You follow us on Instagram. I don't know if we have a Twitter, but Greg will probably handle that eventually, maybe. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you guys stay tuned for season 3. We're not going to unveil it until season 3, episode 1, because I wanted it to be a surprise. But you guys have a great night, and stay safe out there.